Okay, when video games were social.
Like, I don't know if this spot right here means anything to you, but I remember 12 years ago, I was around here. I guess I first spawned, and I heard you and B-Rad talking in game chat in a free-for-all game on Scrapyard.
You guys love me? Well, as a friend, right? Yeah, as a
Blood
friend.
Gulch.
I don't, Raja. I really like you. I'm dead.
I don't appreciate you asking my 10-year-old son about some of the questions you were asking him. You
Do you ever remember lobbies being full of active microphones?
Yeah,
Playing
I remember, dude. This was back in the day, Call of Duty, back in the day for Halo. I mean, people weren't people played their favorite games on the consoles. They didn't play them so much. Like PC was present, but console just I don't know, it tapped into like a new market that wasn't tapped in before.
your favorite online games and having the chance to meet someone new every time? Have you been playing video games for a long time and realize, where the heck is everybody? I've been playing games since the early
Bro, where is everybody? They're all in Discord. It is what it is, man. Everyone's just in Discord with their own friends that they already made. They're not too open to meeting anybody new.
2000s, and ever so slowly I have realized that each and every game that I have personally played just gets less and less talkative, less social, and more reliant on the friendships you already have established.
Yeah, that's true. And that even depends on what type of game you're playing, what type of mode inside the game you're playing. Yeah, I mean, I would say I mean, I was gonna say no, I can't even say that because I was gonna say you're more likely to meet someone in pubs than you are in like ranked because well, like here's the situation: if you're playing like some shooting game and you're like playing the ranked ladder, and somebody all of a sudden pops off, everyone is spamming that person with like friend requests. Ooh, I want to be friends with the good guy because maybe that guy can carry me to my rank that I want. And it's like, then you look at it from that guy's perspective, and it's like all these people just messaged me because I just popped off in a game. It's like I don't want to carry all these people. I just want to play with similarly skilled people. That's what it is. Or that's like one facet of it. There's probably like a bunch of other facets to it. And I like back in the day, I used to play like League of Legends, and you were more likely to get flamed by your teammates than you were your enemies. So there's another facet.
I think over the past few years, almost a decade, multiplayer games have relied on being revolutionary and making their games as addicting as possible with their fluid mechanics.
Yeah.
And I fully believe that most of these games out have some of the best gameplay I've ever seen. Although people are getting tired of what is considered the same old, same old.
Yeah.
But what I think
There hasn't been a lot of innovations in the last couple years in terms of like FPS mechanics. I mean, what do you have? Slide jumping, momentum based shooters, or in terms of like TAC FPS, there hasn't really been any innovations really. And then you just look toward the non FPS side or the non TAC shooter side of FPS, and it's like, ooh, you gotta incorporate movement. Ooh, but people can't even shoot, let alone move and shoot. So that's even tougher. So it's like it's just another speed bump. It's another gatekeep. It's another level to add on to the things.
some modern gamers and developers fail to recognize is the social craze you got out of gaming that made online games blow up in the first place.
Dang, I forgot about the Gears of War. Oh my god, I played so much Gears of War too with the multiplayer. Oh my god.
I'm going to flash back to the era that I grew up with. The reason behind my opinion and back to a time where most consider it to be the golden era of the video game world. I was the stereotypical Xbox player. Call of Duty holding an exclusive deal to give Xbox players first taste into extra content. Gears of War being an all-out, brutal, and very satisfying third-person game.
Gears was
and the
fun.
franchise that is about to be the lead for my opinion, Halo.
You ever wonder what's up there? Like what? Maybe so.
Bro, before I was playing online in the Halo lobbies, I was playing like the LAN parties for Halo 1 with me and my like at my friend's house, and his whole family played. Like the mom, the dad, the brother, the sister, and some other friends from school came over sometimes, and then other family members would come over, like the aunt and the uncle. They would also play, and they were cool with it, and it was just fun.
Someone up there was wondering what it's like here.
These were the top dogs and were the video games leading the charge to grab the attention of curious people across the globe onto this gaming thing. I'm not trying to dive into the charm of each of these games and why they were satisfying, but they all shared something that sucked me in and is what made me keep playing video games to this day.
I mean, it's just like a virtual playground, dude, that everybody could enjoy if you had like the hand-eye coordination to control like a controller. Like, dude, one time I tried to show my mom how to play. I tried to get my mom how to play Halo, and she just ended up just spinning in circles, looking either up all the way, throwing grenades and shooting, or looking down and spinning in circles and like throwing grenades and shooting and killing herself. So I was like, okay, this ain't gonna work. But it, to me, when I saw like a whole family be able to play Halo like halfway decently, I was like, dang, this is cool. And that was like a real life interaction that I had. And then over the course of time, you know, the more prevalent the internet got, it's like people just migrated away from going over people's houses because it's too much of a hassle.
Y'all just got your asses whooped again, man.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all so goddamn.
Oh, yeah, this is like light. This is like light trash talk. Very light. This isn't even light. This is not even a scratch on the surface for Call of Duty.
I am ashamed of each and every last one of anybody.
Oh, Victro! Oh, last run!
Oh my god, this is so funny. And then what happened? And then people started complaining. Parents started complaining that conversations were being said to their son or daughter or whoever. Oh my gosh, you allow this kind of these kind of conversations to happen over your platform, and just Xbox doesn't want to deal with it. So what happens with Xbox or any online really? They just cut communication for the game. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with the customer service. They don't want to deal with the quality assurance. They don't want to deal with the reports, the tickets. Because when you just leave people to their devices, people are going to act like animals, dude. It is what it is. And especially more so the casual audience than I mean, I don't know, I say that, but like still most of the competitive people in any FPS are still pretty childish. They're like the most childish, if anything, but I don't know, maybe it's like an age thing.
They were all alive. When I say alive, I mean they were alive. A high chance of people instantly conversating the moment you join a lobby. Some random dude trying to trash talk you that made you pull out and end up in the historical 1v1 battles. Some kid getting absolutely trolled in the game. People rematching after having the sweatiest, most intense battle and talking their crap.
Yeah.
Why does this matter? Well, it's what brings the human...
Yeah, because it's not there anymore. I mean, it is if your game does support some form of communication, even if it doesn't really support like either like a text or a voice thing. If your game has pings, bro, people just spam ping. They just spam that shit. You gotta like global mute the whole world. Essentially, it's horseshit. One bad experience can ruin your entire experience for like the rest of the day, the rest of the week, the rest of the month. It's crazy, especially if you let it get to you.
Feeling to the game. It gives it meaning outside a story experience. Games are better when they are played and shared amongst other people. It's what made online games become more popular than single-player games.
Yeah.
Gradually, companies have become soft. Games aren't really made with that ingredient in mind.
Soft and lazy because they don't want to have to sit around and not only make the game, not only make the anti-cheat if there is one, and then they have to then they have to come out with updates with the game. They have to come out with constant content for the game, and they have to come out with constant regulations and you know, people that report people for verbal harassment and shit. You know, there's a ton of that shit going on.
Mind anymore. Not very many of them, at least. Everyone gets discouraged from even speaking because anyone could get banned for anything. And nowadays,
Disable
I don't think it's no
voice chat.
coincidence that single-player games have started to become king once again. There's a reason why people are getting tired of multiplayer games.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's because
It's people. People don't want to deal with the bullshit of other people. It's like, if you give me the option to toggle on or off, like voice chat, that shit's going off every time. So then what does that tell the developer? Hey, the next game we make, look at what happened to all these other people, all these other games. Everyone just ends up turning that shit off. We're not even going to give them the option. We're just not even going to include it. How about that?
because everything has already been done. The best moments of each and every match of whatever game you're playing has just become more dull and only personal to you and maybe a few friends. You can maybe capture the social essence still as a creator or a person with friends who plays any game that you will hop on. But let's face it, multiplayer games would have never have become as memorable and lasting as they did without the social craze that they all provided. Of course, the game still needs to be addicting and fun to play, but the prioritized social aspects was the special ingredient that made them the best of the best. The games that would be replayed for years on end. The games that people have nostalgia for and wish they could play for the very first time again. If you don't believe me when I say online games are special because of the social elements it brought, then let's dive into the current era of games.
Yeah. I mean, because online games are special for the social aspect. Look at the and if you look at Fortnite and the beginner experience at Fortnite. Most of the time you're in like a bot lobby to just get your confidence up. Most people don't even realize they're in a bot lobby. It's just a simulation. Ooh. And people are fine with it to have that little illusion like to come over their eyes for a little bit, and then it's like, oh, once you get like a couple levels, then it's like, okay, we'll just toss you out there into the wild. There you go. And then all of a sudden, oh, you're queuing with real people, and yeah.
It's a deal! That's not a deal!
Oh my god!
Battle bit, yeah.
There are games out there right now proving that social mechanics encourage fun. One of the most popular social features in prominent games has been proximity voice chat.
I mean, honestly, you're right about all of that, but it only, like I said before, it only takes one person to literally just ruin it for the rest of people. It only takes one person blowing in their mic like constantly, or maybe they have like a little fucking what do you call it, like mixer to where they're just playing like some stupid ass like meme music all the time, or maybe they're just yelling and screaming and people don't want to deal with that shit. It just takes one person to ruin it, dude.
I've seen this thrown into games like Escape from Tarkov, BattleBit, Rust, Phasmophobia, Warzone, DayZ, and several more. It's not enough of a feature to carry a game socially, but it's the biggest feature I've seen implemented nowadays. And it's effective.
Here, I have a present just because you're so generous.
Oh shit, man.
Instantly, all these games are suddenly full of amazing moments that amplify the fun by 10 times, simply because it feels a little bit more alive.
Yeah.
For example, the BattleBit game.
Charge, boys! Fucking charge!
No, don't do it to me!
Oh, you already know we're gonna do it to you, sir. Get him on the bed, boys.
Little boy!
I'm coming to join.
I have a family! Oh, shit!
This is so funny, dude.
Oh my god.
Like, people like RP the shit out of fucking BattleBit, dude.
Bro, what the fuck is that? Somebody
It's a Roblox game of Battlefield that became so popular, it became a standalone game. All I've heard from fans of the franchise is how this game is putting the real modern Battlefield games to shame. There's so many people doing the most random things and sometimes just out here role-playing so incredibly hard that it's fun. It gives me brief moments of exactly what I am looking for in an online game.
Get me out of here. I don't want to fight this war anymore, man. I fucking hate this, man.
Man, you're gonna stay, mate. You're gonna do it, mate.
No, I don't want to do it, Sarge. I don't want to do it, Sarge. I'm too many.
You're gonna, mate. Down to 40. Fuck, they got ready.
But a game can't solely rely on only social mechanics.
Yeah.
It still has to be satisfying and be somewhat addicting like most games push for nowadays. The gameplay loop is always the biggest priority because it's what's interesting for players to play their game in the first place.
Yeah.
But to keep them around.
It's hard to have the planets align for any, and a lot of these examples are going to be like FPS games for the most part. It's hard to come out with a good FPS with like a good satisfying game loop and whatnot. And a lot of the times, like he was showing games that had proximity chat. I mean, proximity chat is like, honestly, I haven't played any games with proximity chat, but I've watched a shitload of videos and laughed my ass off at so many things, at so many like situations with proximity chat. It's the funniest fucking shit. But what you don't see, I mean, those are what I am seeing, and like the things that make me laugh, those are simply just highlights. Like a person that likes a game that plays it day in, day out, it's not all highlights 24/7. I would say a lot of the time, it's more just like just needless trash talking. Or at least that was what my experience was in Halo, and or not just Halo, in Call of Duty, Gears of War. Yes, there'd be like a couple people like that were just cool and chilling and just playing the game, but a lot of the times, if anybody wanted to like start yapping, it would be trash talk. And I'm fine with like trash talk and banter. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's when the people are like, "Oh, go kill yourself. You suck. You're trash. You're horrible. You've done this and that so many times. You still suck at the game. You're trash." And it's like you can only deal with that so much.
To keep them engaged in the game and in the community, developers should utilize the people of the game and get them connecting in any way they can. This would be through social mechanics like the proximity chat.
Yeah.
But there needs to be more. Usually the game is either lacking in the gameplay or the social experience. We rarely get both to where it feels like it's complete. I often see the smaller game projects do best in the social categories such as Among Us, BattleBit, Phasmophobia.
Where? Is that Caden screaming?
While the bigger companies and games often do best in the addicting gameplay. There are a few games out there that I believe deliver both addicting gameplay and social experiences on a sufficient level. Games such as Escape from Tarkov and Rust. The problem with games such as those, though, is that they are quite difficult and hard to just pick up and play.
Yeah, and plus those games are, I would guess, catered to like a slightly older than normal audience as well. Because Escape from Tarkov is, I think, like PC exclusive. I'm not sure, but I think maybe I'm wrong. And then same thing with Rust, that's like PC only. So yes, that is like a divider between like someone that has like enough competence to like maybe either buy or have enough money to buy a computer or make one themselves. So there's already that like mental little gatekeep between like how the target audience is for like intended for each game. So that already filters out a lot of like just bullshit. So there's that. But I don't know. I was just never a fan of Escape from Tarkov or Rust. Like the whole survival aspect of the game. Like I'm not saying they're bad. I mean, they're good games in their own right. It's just I'm not the target audience.
But now imagine that you did have a game that was dedicated to the experience of both social fun and a satisfying gameplay loop. More than just proximity chat. Have it all. Be able to blend gameplay with social interaction. This is where I raised the golden child that did start doing a lot of this.
There is
The Halo franchise. The one that made a drastic cultural impact, turning some ordinary people into gamers for the very first time.
The fuck is your real name, Peter?
What? Bro, remember this? When you saw the person, like the main person's name, and then you saw like the 2-player thing, which means this person is with this person, just like they're playing on split screen. Man, that was so cool. To just bring like your buddy, hey, you want to go on the line and play Halo? Yeah, sure. That was cool, man. It's like you can't even do that now. Games don't even make games to do that.
I know it's been a while since this game has been in the spotlight and people forget, but the reason why Halo was one of the best games to ever live was because not only was it innovating gameplay, but it was able to combine that with the power of community. People were talking with each other in game as usual, but they were communicating and often led themselves to experiment with the game's mechanics outside intended use. They would create silly moments that were unexpected and produce some hilarious stuff. To top it off, they could instantly go back and watch it over and over again to then possibly make it one of the most beloved clips of all time. This clip, for example, went down in Halo history as one of the most popular ones.
Really?
But it also has a sad story behind it and now lives on as a great memory of what people were able to do together. And that's what I believe made games fulfilling, memorable, and addicting. Games are better with people. They always have been. Any specific moment that you enjoyed in a video game would almost always be better if shared with the right people. But as the years went on, we've seen less freedom given to the community to make their own mark on the game within the game. Now it's more relied on outside use, mainly from the media such as TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and so on. You could just be on the game.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, playing like a public match or a ranked match in public, I mean, it's the same thing as going out in public. But the difference is, I would say, if you go and play like a pickup game of like, I don't know, football or basketball or whatever, you're not going to be as intense with your trash talk as you were for like a video game, because a video game, you at least have the safety of just being in your room by yourself. So like if you tell someone to go kill themselves in a video game, who's gonna say you do anything? Like nothing's gonna happen to you. So what, maybe somebody reports you or something, but like, oh, who gives a fuck? But if you say to like go kill yourself in a, what do you call it, in like a pickup game, like you're just at that, them's fighting words, dude. Like that's reason and cause to like throw down. Like people just are simply not as intense. Like they'll be like, oh man, I outran you, or oh man, you slow as fuck, or whatever. It's like, oh, you know, you got no ups, or something like, oh, you got butterfingers or some shit like that. It's very like surface level insults, but like with a video game, it's like so much like more intense. It's insane.
And go.
I mean, and yes, it is only words, but I mean, shit, dude, it's just like, there's that little mute button. What should I just like do I just keep listening to this idiot like talk shit, or could I just simply mute him? I think most people would hit the mute button. That's what I think.
Experience all that yourself with the reactions from everyone else. Now it seems a lot of bigger studios are scared of the consequences of giving such freedom. Everything has to be kept silenced in order to play it safe. There are games that have microphones off by default. Games where you can't stay in the same lobby as the one you played in previously. And games with tools taken away from you that let out your creative side. Where's the fun in any of those decisions? But the decline of being social in video games isn't just all on the developers. The landscape of gaming has changed too. People get more comfortable in party chats or Discord calls. Too lazy to even attempt with game chat.
Oh yeah. but before I was like talking about some shit. Yeah, and if you say some dumb shit in a video game, you don't really have any idea of like who is recording you. You know, your name is gonna be up there in the kill feed. Like, who's this guy? Mega Meat? What if Mega Meat says some dumb shit, and now all of a sudden he's in a video and he's featured saying the dumb shit, and then all of a sudden his dumb shit that he said leads him to get I don't know, all his information leaked. People dox him because he was acting like an idiot, or just whatever. You got no idea whenever you're playing online who's recording, and yeah.
When you do that, everything becomes more closed off. Little to no opportunity for anything new to happen because you're doing the exact same thing with the exact same people. I don't expect everyone to become friends with everyone they meet, but you can stumble upon some really interesting people that make the experience different.
Take this game back to Blockbuster and quit running up your mama's account, you big state ass.
Oh my
Maybe they'll
god,
lead you to
that's a fucking good one though.
A lobby with something new to await you. People were getting creative and using the tools at their disposal to create nights that may go down in history.
Oh, look, did you see that aim assist? That was crazy.
For you. Years later down the road, you may just remember that night and how special it was. That's when a game becomes memorable because of the things it let you do, and now it made memories.
Yeah.
But games just don't do that as often anymore. Some only provide scraps of what we used to have. Feels a lot more isolated out there, and there are several.
Yeah, because what I think in Call of Duty, even like whatever like the most current one is, or whatever multiplayer people are playing, don't they still have like a little 2-second little snippet of like the enemy can talk shit to you? Like if like let's say you killed like a dude, and then there's like 2 seconds where that guy can like, it's like open comms, but you can't talk to him, but he can say shit to you. It's like most of the time I would say people just go to like the highest intensity of like insult, and nobody wants to deal with that.
Several ways to bring this back. I know Call of Duty used to force people to come to game chat for one of their game modes. Discord is owned now by Microsoft. They could easily implement ways to force people to talk in game rather than sit in a call. And
I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think people are gonna do that, bro. If they did that, everyone would be raising hell over that shit, dude.
Games need to let people have their mics on by default. If it's a setting that you have to go activate, then the average person may never go turn that on. I believe games should focus on building around the community. A game like Among Us essentially forces you to play the game with your microphone because it'll play like crap otherwise. The same thing with something like the role-playing in GTA. It encourages you to use your microphone, or otherwise it would be boring from the start. If the average gamer doesn't even have a mic, then we need to revert to something like consoles coming packaged with at least a cheap headset. And the great thing about all those ideas is that if you're comfortable gaming how you are, you always have the option to turn off those default settings or avoid game modes and continue doing your own thing.
That's
but
fair.
Giving a game the opportunity to breathe, where you can just relax with people, I think would reignite a fire in a lot of online games. What do you think?
I think that too. I mean, I don't know. It's like it's like a slippery slope, because like if it's somebody's, I don't know, like our kids, like modern day kids, are they like more I don't know, socially aware of like what's going on in a video game than they were back in the day? Like when I was a little kid, I had no idea what type of shit I was saying like in public, online. I said some dumb shit for sure in the Halo lobbies and the Call of Duty lobbies, and I probably could have got like clipped out of fucking context or whatever. I mean, it wouldn't have been like out of context, you know what I mean? But like, I mean, I was a little like shitter back in the day, and I look back and I'm like, Jesus Christ. But I mean, I don't know. I'm older now, and I am less prone to do that. But to hold, I don't know. How are you gonna market a video game to like little kids and also expect little kids to like have some sort of like social awareness of what's going on, because I don't know, it just doesn't happen. Little kids are not really like, there might be a couple outliers, but like that's not the norm. Little kids aren't just like socially aware of the shit that's going on right now. But I mean, overall, I think this is a good video. This was awesome. I liked it, and I want to see more. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.